Hey, what's up everybody? This is the Jimbo Splice gaming project, bringing you another DC Universe Online loadout tutorial. Today we're going to talk about Earth. Real quick, in the Geokinesis tree, you want to just get everything except for the 2 supercharges. Mainly, you want to focus on getting your way down to Rumble Crush, Totem, and Reinforce. Make sure you get Fortified Golem, and of course summon your crystal, and you want to grab that debris field as well. In the seismic tree, you don't want to touch anything, and in the iconic powers tree, make sure you get your weapons expert, tactical genius for your crits, and then throw the extra 3 points into making yourself a little stronger and powerful. Alright, here's what the loadout looks like. Start with Fortified Golem, Reinforce, Fortified Golem, Rumble Crush, Reinforce, then Totem, which you can swap out with Debris Field if you want, and then you want to get Vacuum Bubble and Summon Crystal. I'll talk about the Vacuum Bubble here in just a second. This is how you get the Vacuum Bubble. What the Vacuum Bubble does is it helps provide power to Crystal, which is how you do your damage as an Earth DPS. It is very important that you get the Vacuum Bubble, or else Crystal's going to be running dry quite a bit, and everybody knows that Crystal is what the big hits come from, so the more power you get to her, the more damage she does. Alright, in your skill trees, you want to focus on making sure that you spec out for your precision. Make sure, for what I like to do is I like to get the Hand Blaster Weapon Mastery, and which means I got to spec into the Hand Blasters, and then I like to get the bow stuff because that's part of the Hand Blaster. I like to use the bow Weapon Mastery. It's Explosive Shot. I like to use Explosive Shot. Also, in the Hand Blasters, of course, I'm going to get my Pulse Beam, and then for shits and grins, I went ahead and got the Scissor Kick so I can show you guys the other way that I do damage with an Earth DPS as well. Everything else, just spec down the center 4, get your innate, and then make sure you get your crit hit chances and crit hit damage, and then as much precision as you can get. For mods, my weapon, blast adapter, neck, get relentless precision. For the chest, make sure you get extended supercharge. It's going to help you get that vacuum bubble, or whatever your movement mode is. There's always a supercharge that you can use from your movement mode to help power Crystal. That is the only supercharge that you can use that gives her power back. It's the only one, so make sure that you get it whatever movement mode you've got. Alright, so let's get into this. Real quick, I'm going to throw Debris Field on there because I don't know, I like using Debris Field a little bit more than I do Totem because it's quicker. Totem takes a long time to cool down, and so in duos and alerts, a lot of the ads are dead and you guys leave the area, and that Totem kind of has no effect on you anymore. But don't get me wrong, Totem is definitely the way to do more damage, but depending on the situation, you may just want to throw the Debris Field on there. Either way, though, you've got them by choice, or you've got them either way, so it doesn't really matter. You can use either one back and forth as you see fit. As you can see, I'm going through the loadout here. You know, I throw my Rumble Crush, clip it with the Reinforce, and then I hit the Debris Field, and then I throw up my Fortified Golem to keep giving power back to Crystal. The important thing here is to give power back to Crystal. I've sped this up because this is quite a long one, so I sped this up quite a bit so you guys can kind of see, like, you know, what it looks like there. Let's look at what kind of damage we were doing here. I slowed it down so you guys could see what the supercharge does. You notice she's completely out of power. Boom, I throw that up and she just starts going off. Her power bar completely refills and she just starts going nuts. That's where you get the most damage out of this loadout and out of Earth DPSing, is using that vacuum bubble, or that movement mode supercharge that provides power to, you know, you and the group and your pets. That's where you're going to get most of your damage out of. But for the most part, just spam your weapon mastery in between superpowers. You know, throwing out the Rumble Crush and the clip of the Reinforce and the Debris Field. You only need to throw a Rumble Crush like once every Debris Field. So by the time Reinforce and Debris Field cool down, throw another Rumble Crush. Its effects, you know, crush the enemy, which let Crystal's hits do a little more damage. So you don't need to constantly throw it because they're still crushed until it's time for you to throw another one. I'm showing you some of the damage there. Really good numbers on a single target. It's not the strongest DPS on a single target, but it is really strong. So, I mean, it's going to keep you in the top tier on those damage boards if that's what you're into. So, I'm going to switch out my debris field back for the totem, and we're going to go work on the triple targets. One thing I wanted to point out is there are plenty of ways to you know, do damage with Earth DPS depending on your situation. The main point is to make sure that you're using your Rumble Crush and your Reinforce, and it's optional to use Totem or Debris Field, but you definitely need the Fortified Golem, the Rumble Crush, and the Reinforce to keep, you know, your damage up. The Totem works really good for like boss fights that are going to last longer than like 10 seconds, or a group of ads that are going to take a while. And I feel like the debris field works better in like duos and things like that. I mean, where you're going to be moving quicker through ads, and the bosses, you know, take less than 10-20 seconds to kill. Those are the two variations. Other than that, it's just, you know, make sure that you're using that supercharge from the movement mode to keep crystal powered, and you'll hit tons of damage. I mean, it's pretty simple. It's pretty versatile. As long as you spec out in that first weapon, that first power tree, you know, you're gonna do fine. And there's nothing really tricky to Earth other than just weapon mastery combos, and using or deciding if you don't want to do weapon mastery combos, do weapon combos, and just kind of spam your powers to clip it in at the end of it, so that way you're not wasting time and you're maxing out your damage. And I'll show you in a little bit how to do that as well, because you know, with Hand Blaster, sometimes I don't want to do weapon mastery combos. Sometimes I want to use Scissor Kick, and I'll clip Scissor Kick into Rumble Crush or Fortified Golem, and that keeps my damage up. Honestly though, the weapon mastery combo does a little bit more damage than the Scissor Kick. When I was doing all my testing on Earth to decide which way I wanted to go here, it was showing me about, you know, a few hundred to sometimes, you know, 1,000 or 2,000 more damage per second than the weapon than the Scissor Kick combo. And you know, it's not hard to clip it. It's not hard to learn it. It's busy, you know, and quick fingers and you're in good clipping, and it's cake. But the weapon mastery combo just does a little more damage. Just like Totem does just a little more damage than Debris Field. It's not that much big. It's not that big of a difference. So I mean, it's really up to you guys. You know, the way that you feel is gonna benefit you more. Depending on the content that you're running. Just, you know, the basics are, you know, make sure you have the Fortified Golem, the Reinforce, and the Rumble Crush, and you can pick, you know, Totem or Debris Field depending on the situation. The damage is up there. It's going to keep you high in the leaderboard, and it's going to help you get through content very fast. So Earth DPS is definitely one of the better ones in the game. Crystal does all the work for you. It's super easy. You don't see a lot of people doing it though, because a lot of them don't know about the supercharge, or they don't know about the weapon combos and the clipping, and people are afraid of precision-based DPSs. Honestly, they just are. I mean, you see a few sorcery DPSs, and you see a few Earth DPSs, and very few celestial DPSs, and very few hardlight DPSs there, because they're precision-based. So it's, you know, not that common. So here's the Scissor Kick combo. It's 1, 2, 3 taps on the range, and then hold range, but you clip. As the ball goes up in the air, before you kick it, you clip your power. You know, whether it's Rumble Crush or Fortified Golem, you clip it, so that way you don't do the actual motion of the kicking, because it takes forever to get back down and start whipping it on again. So, you know, just work on it a little bit. It's a little bit busier, but it's fun. So, you know, just work on it, and whatever feels good to you, and, you know, just do it. Other than that, I mean, that's pretty much it. That's Earth DPS, and it's a good power. I like it. I enjoy it. You know, I like that tune, and he's super useful in raids and alerts, and he crushes duos and solos. I can pretty much solo every solo and duo, no problem. All right, well that's pretty much it. That's the damage there. I think at one point I hit over 300,000 per second. That's crazy, you know, and that's good damage. And then, you know, thank you, Crystal. That's all I can say about that. It's not hard to do this. Just give it a shot, you know, play around with it, practice it a little bit, and hopefully I see a few more Earth DPSs out there helping me get through this content. Alright, this has been the Jimbo Splice Gaming Project, bringing you another DC Universe Online DPS tutorial and loadout. And hopefully this will make you all outstanding, overpowered Earth DPSs. I'll see you guys next time. Make sure you like and subscribe. Later.